The CFPB has officially been closed by the Trump administration. In a shocking turn of events, Russell Vought was named the new director of the CFPB, and within less than 12 hours of him taking office, he shut it all down completely. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't shocked. I told you it was gonna happen. Nobody believed me. It's like, no, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna restructure everything. Everything's gonna be great for Americans. And that didn't happen. Imagine that. So on today's video, I'm gonna cover exactly what happened over the weekend and how the CFPB was shut and how this is going to affect American consumers and what should be your next step to protect your money. But before we get into this video, make sure that you smash that like and subscribe button so this video gets out to more people so everyone can stay informed on how to protect their money for the next 4 years. And I also found something on the CFPB website that is really crazy. You don't wanna miss this. I'll be honest with you, I was just trying to enjoy my weekend and trying to respond to as many comments as I possibly could, and then my phone just exploded with the notification that Russell Vought was taking over the CFPB as the director. Now, in case you don't know who this guy is, he's an actual proponent for Project 2025. He actually wrote it, so it's pretty wild. So I was like, okay, I would say less than 24 hours is what we have until they've officially shut it down, and it was literally less than 12 hours. So I'm gonna show you two different articles that show exactly what's going on. So the Trump administration orders Consumer Protection Agency to stop work and close its building. So let's read this very important part of this first part of the article. Russell Vought, the newly installed director of the Office of Management and Budget, directed the CFPB in a Saturday night email confirmed by the Associated Press to stop work on proposed rules, to suspend the effective dates on any rules that were finalized but not yet active, and to stop investigative work and not begin any new investigations. The email also ordered the Bureau to cease all supervision and examination activity. It sounds like they're shutting down, just like I said, ladies and gentlemen. And for all of those saying, oh, that's the leftist reporting agency. All right, we'll pull up the Boston Herald too, since you want that one also, okay? The Boston Herald says, consumer watchdog shut down. Now pay attention to how this article reads. It's really silly, but it's there. The Trump administration has ordered the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau to stop nearly all its work, effectively shutting down an agency that was created to protect consumers after the 2008 financial crisis and subprime mortgage lending scandal. But hold on, wait for it. You scroll down just a little bit and they state, the Saturday night email also ordered the Bureau to cease all supervision and examination activity. That means pretty much everything. No, that is everything. Now this same little snippet that I'm about to read is in both articles. They're almost identical except for a little bit of the things are changed slightly. Also, late Saturday, Vought said in a social media post that the CFPB would no longer withdraw funds from the Federal Reserve, adding that its current financing of $711 million is excessive. Congress directed the Bureau to be funded by the Fed to insulate it from political pressures, as what's happening right now. So people have gone to social media to say, oh no, the CFPB website is still up. Yes, it's still up. Yes, you can still file a complaint, but they're not going to investigate anything. It's clearly been stated here. But now let's go over to the CFPB website before we jump into all this so I can show you exactly what's going on the CFPB website. Now, if you go to the CFPB website, you can see this says 404, page not found, but the level of pettiness of the plug that's been unplugged right there is crazy to me. But now we want to click on the submit a claim button. Once you click on that button, then you're gonna scroll down on the submit a claim and start a new complaint. Here's where it gets good. Here's where it gets good. It asks you to create an account. So let's zoom in right underneath sign up and verify email address. It says the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. So the CFPB is an independent agency of the United States government. CFPB information systems are provided for the processing of official information only. Unauthorized or improper use of the system may result in administrative action as well as civil and criminal penalties. Because this is a CFPB information system, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy regarding any communication or data transiting or stored on this information system. All data contained on CFPB information systems is owned by CFPB, and your use of the CFPB information system serves as your consent to your usage being monitored, intercepted, recorded, read, copied, captured, or otherwise audited in any manner by authorized personnel, including but not limited to employees, contractors, or agents of the United States government. Do not, and I repeat, do not put your information in that system. Was I clear when I read that? Now I'm going to repeat it again, so everyone else that didn't hear it out there. This is just a shell of a website. They are not going to investigate anymore. They made it very clear in their announcements, in their emails to all of the employees of the CFPB to stop all investigative activities and do not start any new investigations. I would not put any of my information or any documents into this system as of this new whole revamp of this website, because it's very clear that anyone's going to be able to access it if you give it to them. Now, moving forward, recently, the CFPB had regulations that were going to go into place to limit overdraft fees, to limit credit card late fees, make it easier to switch banks, remove medical debt from credit reports, finalize a lawsuit against Experian, and finalize a lawsuit against Equifax. All of that is gone now. It is not going to happen anymore. I want to be very clear on that. Now, the CFPB also put into motion a plan and a process to lower interest rates to 10% because the Trump administration touted it. So the CFPB is like, yo, that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and start that plan. And they stopped it. So anybody that was hoping for interest rates to drop, this is kind of giving you your answer there. None of this is going to move forward. Now, they did not say that they were getting rid of the cases. The cases are basically all put on hold, and I don't understand the process, maybe to make it seem like they're going to do something, but it's very clear that they're not. What does this mean for consumers? There will be no relief for Americans in credit card debt with high interest rate. There will be no penalties to companies who broke the law and took advantage of consumers. And the biggest one of all, there will be no consumer redress, meaning any consumers harmed will get no money. But I do want to bring something very clear to you and make you understand that you still can, in fact, work on your credit. I also want to be really crystal clear that the CFPB was never meant to be a disputing platform, and it never was. It was a complaint center to complain about any issues you may have with businesses or any type of financial institutions or debt collectors, creditors, whoever it may be. You could file a complaint against them, and it was up to the CFPB to kind of mediate the entire situation. All they were was a mediator between you and the credit reporting agency, debt collector, creditors, whoever it may be. Last part's the most important. So the CFPB plays zero role in any disputing process if you're trying to work on your credit, because a lot of these scammers out there and all these amateurs that don't truly know how to actually perform credit repair were using this to tell people, oh yeah, we're gonna file a complaint with the CFPB, they're gonna delete it really quick. And that's not how it works, and it's not true. I feel like I had to tell you that because I noticed a lot of people asking that question because, again, it's very confusing to everybody out there who's been hearing this nonsense about disputing with the CFPB. No, don't even worry about it. You can still continue to work on your credit. And in fact, you need to work on your credit because we don't know if they may change the process of disputing just because they feel like it. Now I'm going to give you an 8-step process of what you can do to prepare yourself for these massive changes as a consumer or as a person that's banking with regular banks. We're going to ask my homie right here at ChatGPT, what can Americans do to prepare for the CFPB closing, and what other measures should Americans do to protect themselves? Now it says, if the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau is officially shut down. So like, as you can see, he's not saying it's shut down because technically it's not, as I stated earlier, but it pretty much is. Americans will need to take immediate and aggressive steps to protect themselves from financial abuse, fraud, and corporate greed. Without the CFPB, banks, lenders, and credit card companies now have fewer regulations and more power over your finances. Here's what you need to do now to prepare and protect yourself. Step number 1, lock down your credit. Without the CFPB, expect an increase in predatory lending, identity theft, and unfair credit practices. Here's how to defend yourself. Now, you can do this for 100% free. You don't have to pay anybody to do this. Freeze your credit. Prevent identity thieves from opening accounts in your name. Now, next one, check your credit reports monthly using annualcreditreport.com to monitor changes. That's 100% free. You get a free credit report once a week at annualcreditreport.com. Next, dispute any suspicious activity. The credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion still legally have to investigate. Now, I love this right here. Pro tip, do not rely on just Credit Karma. Get all 3 credit bureaus reports directly. That is very crucial for you to understand. If you see any type of crazy activity on your credit cards, file a dispute immediately only through written letter. Do not use their disputing system because you don't get any protections from that. If you send a dispute letter through snail mail, that will trigger the Fair Credit Billings Act that protects you as an American. Now, step 2, bulletproof your bank accounts. Banks now have fewer restrictions on fees, overdrafts, and account closures. Protect yourself by turn off overdraft protection because banks will hit you with massive fees. Disable it now. You need to be paying attention to your money in and your money out. Don't rely on overdraft protection, but it can be helpful. I'm not gonna lie, it can be helpful. Now, keep minimum balances to avoid new fees. Some banks may start charging for low balances. I saw this one coming a mile away, and I love how ChatGPT found that. Set up account alerts. Get notifications for any withdrawals, fees, or suspicious transactions. You should have this set for all your credit cards and all of your bank accounts, even your savings account. Now, here's the biggest and most important. Consider moving to a credit union. Credit unions are member-owned and less likely to gouge you with fees. This is a fact. I talk about this all the time. Credit unions are the #1 way to go. And then the pro tip is my favorite. Pro tip, avoid Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. They are historically the most predatory. I didn't say it, ChatGPT said it. Step number 3, fortify your credit cards. Expect higher interest rates, surprise fees, and reduced consumer protections. Do this immediately. Pay off credit cards ASAP. I talk about this all the time. Don't carry balances. Interest rates will skyrocket with no warning. Ask for a lower interest rate now. Some companies may agree before rates spike. So that means call your credit card company and ask them, hey, I've been with you for a certain amount of time. Can you help me lower this interest rate? They may say yes, they may say no, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Next up, monitor your statements weekly. Hidden fees and unfair charges will explode without the CFPB oversight. Now, the next one, avoid stored credit cards. These are the most predatory high interest traps. 100% facts. Now, the pro tip is my favorite also. If your credit card company tries to raise your APR, call them and request it be reversed. Don't just take it sitting down. You can request it to be reversed. Nobody ever talks about that either. Now, step number 4, protect yourself from loan scams. Predatory lending will go wild without the CFPB. Here's how to avoid being trapped in debt slavery. Refinance student loans now. I'm going to put that in the video description for anybody that needs a refinance because interest rates are about to surge. Never take payday or title loans. Those are like the worst ones. We should know better, but we just have to put it out there. These will be even more predatory without oversight. Read every loan agreement like a lawyer. Expect more hidden fees and sketchy fine print. Prepay on your mortgage if possible. Lenders may start charging extra junk fees. Now, the pro tip is never take a too good to be true loan deal. Always compare multiple options. Always shop different rates, everybody. Step number 5, know your consumer rights because they're shrinking. Understand that. Now, it did not list the Fair Credit Billings Act, which does protect you against credit card transactions. Remember that. Now, even though the CFPB is gone, some legal protections still exist. Know these laws. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, you can still dispute credit report errors. Truth in Lending Act, lenders must disclose APR and loan terms. The Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, you cannot be harassed for any debts by any debt collector. You just can't be harassed, period, for any debts. Equal Credit Opportunity Act, lenders cannot discriminate against you. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that one's gonna disappear. They're gonna try to get that one out of there. Pro tip, if a company tries to screw you over, threaten to report them to the FTC, it still has some power. But the problem with the FTC is they are stretched too thin. That's the biggest problem. That's why the CFPB was created, to kind of give them the help that they need. Step number 6, document everything and go public if necessary. If banks, lenders, or credit card companies try to scam you, overcharge you, or mistreat you, follow these steps. Save all emails, letters, and statements. You need proof if you have to take legal action. Next one, record phone calls. Of course, if legal in your state. I love how I put that in there. If legal in your state. Some states allow you to record shady bank reps. Now, the last one, blast them online. Banks hate bad press. Use Twitter, X, Reddit, and TikTok to expose them. Instagram, Facebook, all of the platforms, and YouTube to expose any issues. Pro tip, if enough people go public, banks will be forced to respond. And also reach out to your local news outlets to help you if you ever have any issue, and your attorney general for your state. Step number 7, switch to financial institutions that respect you. Big banks are about to get worse. Consider moving your money to credit unions, lower fees, better rates, and fewer corporate greed problems. Online banks, Ally, SoFi, Chime, definitely don't go to Chime, okay? We don't support them. No physical branches equals fewer junk fees. That is true, but it has its catches also. I would say always stick with credit unions, but I still like the thought process. Local community banks often have better customer service and accountability. Now, the problem problem with local smaller banks, they may not have enough funding and they may just disappear. Just keeping it real with you. And the pro tip leads us back to do not bank with Wells Fargo, Chase, or Bank of America. They have the worst track record of fraud and scams. And step 8, the final one, spread word and fight back. The government and big banks are counting on you to stay silent. We need to blow this up before they get away with it. Share this information. Tell everyone to check their accounts. Contact your representatives and demand attention. Pick up the phone, ladies and gentlemen, and call them and tell them this is not okay. This is not why you voted them in. If we let them take the CFPB without a fight, what's next? And here is our final warning. This is the biggest financial attack on Americans in history. If you don't protect yourself now, it will be too late. The banks just got unlimited power and you're their next target. Take action now or pay the price later. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We covered another big one on how to protect yourself against any issues with banks or financial institutions. Now make sure that you watch this next video because it is about a great credit repair software that you may want to learn more about. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.